Ladies and gentlemen, imagine you're in post-war Italy, sipping a bitter espresso in a leather jacket 2 sizes too small, when suddenly a spaceship with fins, curves, and the attitude of a teenage rock star glides past. That's not your imagination. It's the 1957 Fiat-Stanguellini 1200 Spider America by Bertone, a one-off concept so sleek it could have made Cary Grant blush. It looked like it was built to flirt, race, and steal your girlfriend all at once. And frankly, it probably did. Smash that subscribe button for more insane vehicles, because let's be honest, you don't stumble across a one-off prototype every day. Now, buckle up as we head back to a time when Italian coach builders didn't just build cars, they sculpted road-going art on steel canvases. So here's what we know. In 1957, in the land of Modena, where carbs are tuned like opera arias, a curious collaboration happened. Fiat provided the bones, Bertone provided the glam, and Stanguellini, the boutique tuner known for making Fiats faster than your ex's rebound, sprinkled on some racing magic. The result? The Fiat-Stanguellini 1200 Spider America, a dazzling roadster penned by design genius Franco Scaglione. This car wasn't mass-produced. It wasn't even produced. It was birthed for show. Only one was made. Oh no, a prototype so unique, even Ferris Bueller would have paused to admire it. Laid atop a stiffened Fiat 1100 TV chassis, the car was factory upgraded to 1200cc spec before being handed to Stanguellini, who presumably rubbed it down with balsamic vinegar and gave it a camshaft that could sing. Scaglione sculpted a swooping body, sleek flanks, exaggerated tail fins, wraparound windscreen, and a front end so low it might qualify as a tripping hazard. This was no mere styling exercise. It was a statement, a roadster that whispered to the American market, "Hey baby, want some Dolce Vita with your drive?" The name Spider America wasn't just catchy, it was tactical. The 1950s were full of Italian exports dressed up for Yankee tastes. Chrome, fins, and dramatic flair. Turin's elite coach builders knew that Americans didn't want subtle. They wanted Hollywood on wheels. The Spider America premiered at the 1957 Turin Auto Salon, then sashayed through Cortina d'Ampezzo in 1958 and Buenos Aires in 1960, like a European movie star on a global PR tour. And then, nothing. The car vanished into Argentinian obscurity like a tango dancer who missed her cue. Fast forward to 1994. A Mercedes dealer, a man more accustomed to selling bankers their third E-Class, stumbles upon this forgotten unicorn in barn-find condition. What followed was a restoration worthy of a Netflix docuseries. Every panel, every document, even handwritten notes from Nuccio Bertone himself. Eventually, the Spider America would return to the stage at Villa d'Este, Pebble Beach, and the Boca Raton concours, where it snagged a Wayne Carini Award for looking better at 60 than most of us did at 25. But let's get greasy. Underneath all that Italian flair was some clever engineering. The engine, originally a 221 cubic centimeters inline-4 derived from the Fiat 1100 TV, was massaged by Stanguellini into delivering 59 brake horsepower. That's right, just under 60 horses, but each one wore racing shoes. Twin Weber carburetors and a high-compression head helped squeeze every ounce of drama out of that block. It wasn't just transportation. It was a caffeinated statement on wheels. Power was sent to the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox mounted on the column. Yes, column shifted, because even the gear lever wanted to stretch out and show off. The chassis rode on independent front suspension with coils and a live rear axle on half-elliptic leaf springs. It had drum brakes on all 4 wheels, naturally, because discs were still playing hard to get. Steel wheels, likely 15 inches, wore thin tires with just enough grip to make Sunday drives thrilling and wet roads existential. The wheelbase measured 92 inches, 2,340 millimeters. The curb weight was never officially recorded, but similar Fiat cabrios hovered around 920 kilograms, or around 2,028 pounds. Lightweight, compact and aerodynamic, this roadster likely hit speeds over 80 miles per hour, which was more than enough to outrun small-town gossip and most bicycles. What set the Spider America apart wasn't just its rare status or raked fins, it was the balance of show and go. Stanguellini's touch wasn't superficial. It gave the car genuine sporting credentials. Stronger springs and a carefully tuned camshaft made this more than just an art exhibit on wheels. The dual-carb setup wasn't just for menu bragging rights, it was for real power delivery. The column shifter was odd for a sports car, but practical for space and consistent with its grand touring intentions. Basically, it was a cocktail of weird choices that somehow worked, like pineapple on pizza. When it comes to styling, the Spider America is like the Audrey Hepburn of Coachbuilt prototypes, elegant, angular, and timeless with just the right amount of drama. Franco Scaglione, the same design sorcerer behind Alfa Romeo's Bat cars, took a deep drag on his cigarette and drew something that looked like it could win Le Mans or host a red carpet gala. The car's sharply creased front fenders, deep door scallops, and pointy canted rear fins weren't just stylish, they were directional. They pointed toward a jet-age future where even small Fiats could look like they were sculpted by wind and driven by desire. And that wraparound windshield? It curved like a wink. Combined with a low belt line and rakish profile, the car looked fast even when parked, like it was about to light a cigarette and vanish into the night. On today's market, production Fiat 1200 Cabriolet might fetch $30,000 to $50,000. But the Spider America? At RM Sotheby's 2017 Amelia Island auction, it hammered for $275,000. More than 5 times what your average Fiat Spider might muster. Why? Because rarity counts, and so does design lineage. You don't just buy a Spider America, you adopt a slice of Coachbuilt history. It's a Pebble Beach pass and a bragging right rolled into one. Only one Spider America was built. One chassis, number 211166, survived obscurity, restoration, and now lives pampered in a United States collection, receiving more wax than a 1970s disco floor. That's not just survival, that's legend. But behind the chrome and carburetors lies something rarer still, a reminder of when cars were dreams in motion. The Spider America didn't just offer transportation, it offered aspiration. It's what happens when designers, tuners, and visionaries conspire to say, let's make something beautiful, even if we only do it once, and that's worth celebrating. So if you're lucky enough to spot the 1957 Fiat-Stanguellini Spider America at a concours, don't just snap a photo. Stand quietly for a second and listen. If the wind's right, you'll swear it still whispers Italian lullabies and revs in pentameter. And hey, if your current ride doesn't have twin Webers, fins, or a wraparound windshield, don't worry. Just polish your hubcaps, comb your sideburns, and strut like you own a one-off Bertone. Confidence is half the horsepower.